Biggest drop of crypto market since FTX and COVID crashes, even larger than they were back in the days. The one we had in August actually spiked up a crazy alt season right after, but short term, we've seen new lows on altcoins and on a range of coins out there. So the main question currently, are we actually going to enter the alt season, or is the bull market is actually over? Nothing is happening from here. You should just sell and leave, because just going to be 6 months job and traders market one more time. Today we're figuring out exactly that with data, facts, and good old speculation as well. And we also talk about altcoins that might be interesting to pick up at this dip as well. Like this video if you knew about this drop in advance, because I was screaming about it for the whole last week, and if you appreciate it, consider pressing the like button. Let's start. First of all, my insane loan on Mavia on BitGet exchange. By the way, if you would like to trade on BitGet and get liquidated alongside with me, you can sign up following the link below in the description. As you can see, I have $80,000 in margin currently for the position worth of $50,000 only, which is absolutely insane. Mainly because I started this position when Mavia was 1.3 and I was just adding margin, and also decreasing my average price because I was able to decrease my average price by 2 as well. Waiting for the results for this thing quite soon. Let me know in the comments, or you can just press like button if you think I'm getting liquidated, and press dislike if you think I'm not getting liquidated. Bitcoin. Macro-wise, Bitcoin dominance has fully confirmed a return into the 57.71 range, green-red. Most recently, BTC dominance has rejected from 63.96, midpoint of this range, blue. Historically, BTC dominance has broken this blue level every time. Either we are an upside wick, red circle, or entire candle bodies, green circles. And every time it broke it, BTC dominance would then revisit the 71.04 range, high above, red. For the moment, there be some rejection from the blue, 64% resistance, but chances are it will broken once again over time. So this is actually something I wanted to talk as well, because I shared this information on my X. And if you actually want to be early to updates, feel free to follow me on X as well. This is the BTC dominance chart at this stage, which means that the higher this chart is, the more funds are in Bitcoin in the market. As you can see here, it spiked up to 64% during the drop today. Here is the fractal of BTC dominance from previous cycle. I just copied it and I just applied it here. And my speculation at this stage is that they are doing exactly the same thing as what they were doing in the previous cycle as well. It's just that if we would mark this drop as the first one and this drop as the second one, I hope you can see everything properly because of my camera, right? Because of my face. The similarity are crazy in terms of actually this thing happening here and this thing happening here. So they just changed the picture. They reversed the base of the BTC dominance price action, but everything else is the same. And what happened after we spiked up here, exactly as here, crazy BTC dominance drop happened, which signalized the alt season happening. This is, to be honest, something I'm expecting quite shortly. I do think a lot of crypto natives got screwed up in the previous drop. They probably got heavily liquidated on leverage. Again, this is the biggest liquidation since FTX and COVID, and it's like the current one is even bigger than these two were, right? So I would expect that new inflow of capital mainly is going to start with new money coming into crypto, which is probably the end of quantitative tightening and the kickstart of quantitative easing, or at least market speculation that this is something that might be happening, right? Because stock market is not doing very, very well at this stage as well. So this is my speculation on the current thing. I don't know what will happen with QT, with QE. BTC dominant charts shows me that alt season should be starting. Historical outperformance of Ethereum shows me alt season should be starting. All the metrics show me alt season should be starting. I don't care what will happen in the world, I'm telling alt season should be starting. Moving further, maybe pump fund was a mistake and we are being punished for our sins. This one is actually a crazy chart. This is the performance of altcoins of this cycle in comparison to the previous cycle. And up until April of last year, we were tracking all right. What happened in April of last year? Pump fund was created. And since then, we are actually in the heavy downtrend. And right now, we are decorrelated at maximum to the price action that alts have had in previous cycle. So the question here might be is Would you want to bet on the trend changing and alt season actually starting? I'm definitely betting on this one. But if you're actually making this bet, this is a crazy outsized returns bet right now at this stage, because we are heavily underperforming in altcoins in comparison to previous cycle, which just confirms my thought process from previous videos as well, that if you're a Bitcoin holder, right now is still the best time to sell BTC. Right now is probably actually the best to sell BTC and buy into alts, because BTC is way higher, is way more expensive on this chart in comparison to the prices of alts, right? And in general, to be positioned into alts at this stage, because if they reverse from here, and I'm not betting on the fact that like this time is different, this time is absolutely the same as previous cycles. We always have this narrative absolutely the same. We should have this spike up, and this spike up should mean it should be large, it should be quick. Not Americans are selling Bitcoin through Coinbase, but they're not always right. FUD is embedded in the US media. Yeah, very interesting shakeout event, and people in the US are selling their Bitcoin. Bitcoin parabolic curve with its 6th touch since 2018. So we touched the curve just recently, which means that we should be reversing back higher. What's interesting as well is I wanted to show you my indicator that no one has on the market that is perfect at tracking the bottoms and was correct since $16,000 per Bitcoin. What this indicator shows, this is the line of low leverage liquidations, right? So this is 25x leverage liquidations, 10x, 5x, 4x, and 3x. Each and every time we were touching 10x leverage loan liquidations, we were bouncing. This happened in August, and this happened for all the time since $16,000 per Bitcoin at the exact bottom of this cycle. Something like this just happened currently. That's why I actually do not expect the continuation of the downward price action. I expect us to reverse. I expect for the upcoming couple of months, several months, be actually quite bullish, and timing wise, it's very likely to happen right now. They simply don't have time at this stage. If you want me to respond to the question if alts are actually going to see the new low, and the way they've seen that after the dump in August, because at the end of September, actually a lot of alts see new lows, I would say no. I won't be betting on this currently, because I don't think that the market makers, market manipulators, Trump and his family, they don't have time at this stage. Historically, we should be outperforming currently, and we're already slightly delayed. Although we are delayed in comparison to the previous cycle, but in comparison to the last year, the pumpage on Ethereum started on 6th of February, so we still have several days left. Coming back to Ethereum, Andrew Kang actually was predicting that a lot of leverage on Ethereum is vulnerable below $3,000. 2,200, 2,500 is the target that he was sharing. Honestly, I was talking about this tweet and I was talking about the situation that might be happening. Let me remove this indicator. But publicly, I was not thinking that we would essentially be going this low, but we essentially went. But at the same time, what I was also showing several times on this channel is crazy BTC fractal that happened right here, right in January 2023. We pretty much just repeated like 100% this price action that happened here. If you would just copy this fractal, you would apply it to current Ethereum price action. This is exactly something that happened. And I was telling you that most market actually expects 2,700, 2,800. That's why we actually can be going lower. This is exactly something that happened. One of my videos, I was sharing that previously. I was sharing that in the end of January. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Imagine you would have this information before. Imagine you would have been able to short. A lot of people who were watching this channel, they were actually shorting and they made a lot of money. They did not lose $2 billion in the liquidation. They actually made money shorting because they were viewing this channel. You need to watch these videos, and I think it actually deserves a like button right here. Moving further, buying liquidation cascades like this are one of the 5 times a year you shove and buy everything hand over first, a gift. It's very interesting what he says slightly later. Are you adding now or waiting for this week to pass? Crypto markets priced in whatever happens with macro. Ethereum down 30% plus in a day, alt 70-90% down over the last few weeks. This is also a very important thought that crypto already priced in. Worst case scenario that might be happening with tariffs and all this situation. This is priced in already. And market makers, they definitely use this weekend. They use this weekend to liquidate this $2 billion because everyone understands what might be happening with the alt season. And right now, when no one actually have money, alt season will be happening. We will get a mean reversion either way. Whether it's worth holding after a big bounce, that's up for debate. This one is crazy because probably the natural trading process for Andrew here is just to long and maybe close the positions around 3K per Ethereum, which would be nuts it would be insane. It would just mean that we're not going higher, right? And it's just a trade type of setup out there. Just in, Scimitar Capital accused of causing devastating collapse of the cryptocurrency market. Yeah, this one is actually like quite a shady fund out there. The guy is usual like trust fund kid who probably got his money to trade crypto out there. They've been accused for shady stuff to happen from time to time. Maybe they are the ones that did it, right? Maybe probably they were not the ones to be on this operation in the first place. Probably it's essentially a range of organizations out there. And Trump family 100% on this one as well. I expect the markets to be volatile at open, but the worst is probably over. We'll take some time to bottom and resolve, then we will get a leg up. This could be a second leg or a complacency shoulder. Yeah, the complacency shoulder is also the bounce that Andrew Kang is talking about. I expect Ethereum and Base to lead, probably around real-world assets and AI. I don't understand why people are talking about these narratives. I don't understand why people add deep into these narratives. These are just worst narratives in the whole crypto out there. They won't do well from my point of view, and they're just a giant psyop. Like, I don't understand. Take profits on that run, bull over by summer and retire. Yeah, the fact that he's sharing that he's going to retire with his real world asset bags and AI bags probably means that it's not going to happen, right? Because he's sitting in these bags waiting for them to pump. My plan remains the same and has played out well so far. Sticking to it. We'll see. Natural outperformance from Ethereum is expected at this stage, and the layer 2 that has the most volume at this stage is Base. Although Base outperformance can just be fixed with one call. You know what you have to do, right? But we have to talk about Base. We have to talk about altcoin that you might be buying on Base. And when me with my team were doing research on Base, we just figure out that there are not many alts to actually buy on Base. We will just be talking about mainly about aerodrome, because you have this alt, you have Morpho, and besides that you don't have much. It's like a meme coin chain at this stage, which is very interesting because it's not a consensus in the marketplace. Markets seem to be ignoring this, but this is actually the fact about this chain, which means that some other chains that have some more meat, they can add this meme coin part to them, and they can be doing very, very well. When I saw Base's roadmap, I think it's a pretty interesting idea that they want to make Base the center of the on-chain economy with highly liquid, always on global capital markets, with the plans as follows: support 25 plus local currencies, enable on and off ramps in every country and around the world. Yeah, default straight features out there. Aerodrome, which is the main DEX on Base. This is essentially the altcoin that you might be buying as your beta play to Ethereum pumpage out there. Aerodrome has the most TVL out of any DEX on Base, with over 1 billion and 71% TVL share Aero. And no one cares about DeFi at this stage, right? But the thought process here is very, very simple. And the altcoins that I'm going actually to share to be buying currently, I think short term they might be doing quite well. Why? Most of the crypto natives actually got wrecked. They lost a lot of money, and the sentiment right now will be like in the bear market. It would be very, very bearish. What people are buying in the bear market? They're not buying like a bunch of like gaming projects. And some memes will probably be seeing some gambling out there happening, right? But probably not at the previous extent. People will be buying things with revenue because they're scared. They would need to have people to follow. They want to be buying real products with real revenue, right? That's why in this video, I'm talking about IRA, and I will be talking about the second altcoin as well. So this is a very, very nice thing to kind of calm down these people, and if you want to use them as exit liquidity, right, you might be buying into this one. Tokenomics matter. Sort by fees or revenue, impressive for Radium. Sort by what is going to the token, not on the list. 12% for buybacks, but a fake, not burnt. On Aerodrome, 100% of the value created goes to the area voters, and 27% of the buys and locks. Token primacy is key. This is essentially someone shilling Aerodrome over Radium and other DEXs. How much of a shit show does the crypto industry need to become? Members of the Venice team sold VV on day one of its launch. Not just that, the Aerodrome team members engaged in insider trading before public announcements. Really interesting how everyone's grabbing their share of the pie. 900 views only, right? So probably people did not want to see this part, but this is like a bit of the shady part around this thing, that people who work in these DEX, they actually participate in insider trading. DEX volume by project. On Base, we can see Aerodrome is doing quite well, right? Base Aerodrome volume by pair type. We can also see that, yeah, for Ethereum, for like these boomer type of coins, people are definitely doing a lot of stuff on aerodrome on base, which is contrary to situation on Solana, because Solana DeFi is pretty much dead, and except meme coins, nothing is happening there, and meme coins are dead at this stage. Next on the list is Hyperliquid. I would say if you would think about the cuckolds that are scared at this stage, pure beta males, what they would be buying currently is Hyperliquid. If you want to use them as exit liquidity, this is a very nice chance at this stage. Most of the influencers that got the allocations for free, they're already Hyperliquid, they're already hyping it up heavily. And cuckolds that are scared at this stage, they will be buying into these type of products because they would look at the real revenue and things like that. At the same time, this thing definitely has a real product. They have trading volumes, trading fees. It's not the most sexy narrative in the bull market, I would say. At the same time, BNB, which is the coin of Binance in the last cycle, it did 100x from $400 million market cap till 40 billion, which is absolutely insane. Hyper EVM is actually going to be launched in February, so if you want to play around this bullish event, you might essentially do this as well. And in contrary to Base, this thing has a token in the first place. It has product market fit in a way of the product that Whale is actually using, right? Which is quite nice, because the only product market fit of Base at this stage are meme coins. We try to pick up AI, but AI is unfortunately dead at this stage, and AI is also a meme coin. At the same time, we expect our performance of Ethereum short term, and Hyperliquid is EVM layer 1. Ethereum virtual machine, which means it's compatible and it's using Ethereum technologies in its core, which is definitely a very nice bullish narrative. It seems that Hyperliquid is planning to list BTC spot trading. This one is quite huge because there is no BTC spot trading on chain at this stage, and if they will be doing this, they will become a huge competition to centralized exchanges out there. So this coin, I think, actually might be quite bullish short term, because the launch of the layer 1 plus BTC spot trading listing on their exchange on chain, which is a DEX, it would be just quite insane, quite crazy. So it's not just cockles you will be able to take money from. Might be just a very nice bet for the whole cycle out there. I just finished 9 back-to-back BTC whale calls, and they are all looking for the same thing, a better solution to trading BTC on chain, and we are going to give them a damn good one. Hyperliquid. The coin is at $7 billion at this stage, and chart looks quite crazy because in today's drop, how much it dropped? It dropped like definitely lower than Ethereum. Oh well, 26%, so it kind of dropped like major out there, which is definitely a very nice sign for this type of thing. That's why I do think that Hyperliquid might be a very nice choice for you as well if you're looking to get allocated into some altcoins, and it definitely will have some bullish events short term as well. This is it from my end. Stay strong if you have to, because most of the viewers of this channel, they knew about this drop in advance. They were able to short, or they were able to at least stable up, because I was screaming about this drop for multiple days. If you want to receive this type of alpha moving further about the market and know exactly what will happen next and which coins are going to pump, make sure to subscribe and follow this channel. Very few people were sharing this information on the market, and I will say very small amount. With such confidence, we're sharing that the February is going to be red. Most were just screaming about alt season, and we're buying the crap from Trump. And the mistake I actually done is that I thought that us knowing that Trump is buying Ethereum means the end of accumulation. Whilst in fact it just was, they were just luring the market into the asset to dump it. This is the only thing they did. I'm heavily convinced at this stage that Trump family is operating with the biggest manipulators and largest market makers on this market at this stage. If they were not a family of the president, they would probably be in jail, or maybe it will happen by the end of the presidency of Donald Trump at this stage. Crazy things are happening in this market, and I'm not saying that us publicly knowing that Trump is buying Ethereum might not be the end of accumulation. It probably actually is. It probably is the end of accumulation, but as the end of accumulation, as any ends of accumulations out there, they decided to end this up with a crazy drop. And I already responded to the question whether or not the altcoins are actually going to see new lows from here or not. I do think they're not going to. Thank you very much for watching this one. Stay healthy and rich. I'll be seeing you tomorrow as usual.